Hello Hashima, this video is for Monday, May 4th for ELA. Today I'm really excited because we are starting our new novel, Esperanza Rising. This is another historical fiction novel, so if you think about Number the Stars, it was a story that was based on true events in history, so even though the characters were made up, the events were based on true events. So same thing with Esperanza Rising. It's based on the character Esperanza, that's the main character's name, is not real. She's fiction. But the time period that she lived in and the setting, they are real. So today what we're going to be doing is reading just a little bit of the book, but really trying to familiarize ourselves with the both historical setting and the geographical setting of the text. So good readers are thinking always about where and when the story takes place, especially if it's a historical fiction book, because the history is going to play a big role in the plot. So before we begin, just to be clear, this story is going to take place partly in Mexico and partly in California in the United States. So the beginning of the story takes place in Mexico. So think about where Mexico is, what you already know about Mexico. If you want to Google some information about Mexico to help you understand where this is taking place and what impact that's going to have on the story. It'll also be described by the author as we read, so pay attention to those details as well. So thinking about historical and geographical setting, good readers are always using details from the text to understand how that setting impacts the plot. So the historical setting is when the story takes place, what time in history, what the social and cultural importance of that time was. And then the geographical setting is where the story takes place. So what country, what's the land like, what's the community like? All those things are going to be super important to you understanding the book. So good readers use details from the text to help us understand the setting. So how the author describes the setting can help us understand the book, how the setting affects the mood or what kind of feeling it creates for us while we read, and then how the characters feel about the setting. Do they like it? Do they not like it? Is it an important part of their life or not? Pay attention to those things as we build up an understanding of the setting in this book. So you can ask yourself while you're reading today, where and when does this story take place? What details does the author use to help me understand the setting? And how does the setting affect the mood of the characters and the reader? And as we read today, you're going to need to know the word vineyard. A vineyard is a farm where grapes grow. So pay attention to that. It's important. If you, I'm going to do some reading of the story online once we start getting a little deeper into the book. It's just a couple pages today, so I'm not going to do a read aloud. But as we get through the book, we're going to do some read aloud because this book does have some complicated language and themes, and there's some English and Spanish going back and forth. So I want to make sure that everybody is able to grasp the mood and the feeling that is set up in this story. So I hope you all enjoy. Please make sure that you also look at the background information that Mr. Levine posted about Mexico and about immigrants and about the setting. I think that will be really helpful for you, and we will talk further about this on Zoom. I hope you enjoyed the beginning of the book.